So these are actual notes written by doctors about patients. Let's go through them. Yeah, so I mean, first up, we've got a pretty classic one. Patient's dead, obviously refused podiatry. Yeah, it's hard to say what this means. Looks like there's either been a massive misunderstanding and no one's actually alerted podiatry that this patient has actually passed away.
Why would you spend 20K on surgery when you could just die?
Or he's just so dead and sick of medical treatment that he doesn't really want any care for his feet, for his poor toes that need treatment so badly. And yeah, I mean, I say it all the time, like, oh, I'm dead. Like, I'm so dead, I'm so tired. But maybe this is what he means. I mean, if the patient is actually dead, that is actually ridiculous. It's in quotation marks, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just don't want to. Sometimes you just so fed up with stuff that you just feel dead, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about this? Was grinding yesterday, no protection used. It's funny, you know. Some people just don't think about what their words mean until reading them back.
I don't really learn from my mistakes. And why is that? Because I don't make any.
And I mean, it does happen. You know, people do grind with metal without wearing any eye protection. And eye protection is very, very important for this. You know, you can end up with like injuries to the eye.
The eyes are the groin of the head.
And you need to like do like different stains to like look for any damage to like the layers of the eye. And yeah, you actually use this cool thing. It's called fluorescein. I've actually done it a few times when I was on my ED rotations back in internship and also as a medical student. And you look in, you try to find like the damaged areas of the eye. Yeah, I didn't think that this doctor was thinking about how it would sound when, you know, the last two lines were, you know, submitted as a note. It's unfortunate. Happens to the best of us, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know how this is a plan, but I mean, HIV is a pretty dangerous condition, of course. It can predispose to, you know, reducing the blood cells and predisposing people to lots of infection if it's not controlled by antiretroviral therapy. But yeah, I haven't heard of this one before. Pansider penis. Doesn't really look like a one that's come up in my medical textbooks, so yeah, I mean, benefit of the doubt, A is right next to S, so hopefully they mean that. Unless they've actually discovered a new type of cell that becomes low. Maybe HIV reduces the number of cells in your penis, potentially. What would that look like? I don't know. Let's move on. Also, I don't really know why it's a plan for something to be notorious. There's no directive there. There's no like do this test or order this investigation or re-refer when necessary. It's just telling me a fact.
Now we sip champagne when we thirsty.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see any time where Jesus actually was in hospital. I mean, where some people are waiting for Christ to come back, I know, and I mean, this might be very evidence that he has returned, if you do believe in Jesus at all. And I mean, this points to the fact there was documentation. It was brief and it was in passing, but there was a discussion with Christ.
Have you found Jesus yet? No.
I didn't know I was supposed to be looking for him, so.
And that should be noted because now this is real. This is real stuff here. It's interesting that Jesus actually started smoking. Probably a bad habit that he's picked up over the years. I mean, don't blame him. He's been through a few centuries. But I want to know how long he's been smoking for. And, you know, has he tried to quit? Quit line is available if you really need. But we should be offering him some nicotine replacement therapy.
You need all the encouragement you can get when you're trying to quit.
Actually, no thanks.
So we've made our gum taste even better.
Whatever we can. Let me know, Christ, if you really want. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky sometimes. You're under pressure in the emergency department. You don't know what's happening, where it's happening, and sometimes, you know, you just end up repeating yourself. Injury to the left injury is a great call about that. I mean, it's quick. It happened 47 minutes ago, and I mean, maybe this patient was injured on the left side.
Oh, the cannon has fired and hit Sterling directly to the face.
And then they got another injury to that injury, making it like a double injury.
Literally just has to kick it anywhere except where Sterling is sitting. There is no possible way that North Carolina can mess up this shot. Oh!
So now there's 2 injuries on the injury. It could be possible. Could be possible. Sometimes when you're thinking some things, it's all just like, you know, moving around in your head too fast. There's lots of things going on. You just repeat yourself. Yeah, you can end up with this. I just hope that this patient's right side was okay. Yeah. I want to know what he did. I want to know what this patient did to the left injury, how they injured it, and what they're going to do to treat it, and whether the first injury was actually ever treated.
Teammates carry him off on the stretcher of glory.
Anyways, I guess left injury, hope it's well. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you might actually feel like a Simpsons character.
Interesting.
And that's okay. There are some days where I feel like Bart. Then there's some days where I feel like Lisa.
'Tis better to remain silent and be thoughtful than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
And I guess some days I feel like Homer.
What does that mean? You better say something or they'll think you're stupid. Takes one to know one. Swish.
Wearing this blue sort of scrub cap, I, to an extent, feel a little bit like Marge, if she chopped off all her hair. But I don't really feel like Maggie, although I can be a bit of a baby sometimes, so that's debatable. But yeah, usually can't feel jaundiced. Usually I can't feel the jaundice growing in my eyes to develop scleral icterus. I mean, that would be an amazing superpower to have. To have the ability to turn my eyes or skin yellow. I mean, incredible. But yeah, I wonder if this is just a boss was saying jaundice, and then you're typing your note, and then, you know, someone else says something else, and you just got to enter and start a new note, and then you just end up with these, like, you know, half-finished examination and findings. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. It's a natural segue into a thought about euthanasia. I mean, the two topics are not usually linked. It's a long bow to draw. I mean, it might be the longest bow to draw ever. But, I mean, when you have questions, write them down. And if the doctors come around and you want to have a question, you have a question to ask, then you just got to ask it. You can't predict if they're asking you about your bowels beforehand. And if all you want to do is ask about euthanasia, then that's your point of view. I think that's completely valid, you know. It may not be the right timing of it, especially in the note. Feels otherwise fine, inquired about euthanasia. I mean, how fine are they? Is the main question we should probably be asking. It's an interesting tone to end the note on. I wonder what the next discussion was. Was it like, what's for dinner? What can I eat? Can I go home? Or did this patient actually get euthanized? It's unfortunate that they're smoking on the call with the doctor. I mean, you don't really want someone to rub it in your face when you're telling them to quit smoking or to do something else. Like, you can just imagine them sitting at home. Yeah, you want me to quit? Yeah, sure, yeah, no worries. Yeah, sometimes you would be fuming. I mean, this patient is literally fuming. Now this patient's getting the best of both worlds. They're getting medical care. They're doing what they want as well. I've never actually consulted a patient while they've been smoking and had to give them medical advice. I mean, it's a bit of an interesting one, but yeah, who knows, maybe in the future. Yeah, I mean, like, this could be the patient's, maybe Mr. Beast or Fred Hollows has cured this patient's vision, and they've actually started to, you know, develop normal vision again. They've cured their blindness. They've remarkably recovered the sense of vision, the sense of sight. They can look at their stools and get the colours right. Or they've heightened their sense of smell. I mean, like, they do say, to be honest, they do say that people, once they lose a sense, their other senses become heightened. And I mean, this might be the case for this patient. They may also just be making up absolute nonsense, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Melina actually does have a certain smell to it.
Oh my God, what is that smell?
Blood that's sitting there for a long time can actually turn black after it's been like processed by all the bacteria and everything like that. So it does give off a certain scent. Alright, yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, this patient might actually just be forgetting something. They might usually have a pretty good memory. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's do that again. Yeah, I mean, some people's brains work absolutely fine in some situations, and in other situations, not great. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Sometimes I don't know where I live. Sometimes I think the hospital is my home rather than my actual house.
Vincent, I'm on the intercom.
Where is the intercom?
And that's a tricky one, to be honest. I mean, they really set her up here because they said her memory is brilliant and she has a great brain. I've never actually described my memory as being brilliant. And how my brain's going, I think it's going fine.
Hey, oh, whoops, wait, did I just do...
Maybe she genuinely is moving house and she doesn't know what her address is. That's not taken into consideration here. I think they're being a bit too harsh on this lady.
The address, yep, the address, it's King's Road.
King's Drive.
King's Drive.
So, you know, when you move house, you know, it's like when you change phone numbers. You're not sure about your new phone number, you need to check.
07700, that's definitely how it starts.
You can do it, Rain Man.
900563. I think that's right.
You need to check your address. I think this patient has just been moving house, and I think they've failed to mention that.
And the number, the number?
52. Ooh, 54.
We're pretty sure we live at 42 King's Drive.
Yeah, this one, kill. I don't know how you would actually kill someone nil by mouth. Like, kill someone by not giving them poison, maybe? Please keep the patient nil by mouth. I mean, what were they trying to say? Please keep the patient nil by mouth immediately, thanks. That would make sense, but the E is completely on the other side of the keyboard to the I, and then there's two L's. Like, it's not just like a one-letter mistake. I mean, maybe this patient has literally been located.
Coordinates in, target designated.
The target is confirmed, and you know, these doctors are like, you know, trying to get rid of this patient in the cruelest way possible. I mean,
Direct. Target destroyed.
and not even like slowly, like immediately. And then the follow-up is sinister. Thanks. I don't get that. I do not get that. Alright, last one. Impacted Saruman. I mean, sometimes that guy does look a bit impacted.
Are you in need of assistance, my lady?
Maybe there was like a little figurine and the person was playing with it and they stuck the Saruman in their ear. I mean, that could actually make sense here. It's impacted, it's a Saruman, and it's to the right ear. I think this is a clean and cut case, to be honest. It is a little bit awkward, and yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I've never been a Lord of the Rings fan, to be honest. I just wonder what the patient stuck in their left ear.
This is it. This is what? If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
But yeah, these are actual doctor's notes that people actually wrote about real life patients. Can be a little bit amusing. It's always worth looking at your notes before you submit them. It might make a lot of sense in your head, but always just keep an eye out just to check your notes. Yeah, anyways, we'll go through some more next time. Bye!